Our next match of the day, which will have Troll of Lancaster, the Belgian player, of course, we've seen earlier on. We have Shorty, currently I believe teamless, of Germany, Lundstrm of Molotovs and Marshmallows from Sweden, and Roa of Team Expert, of course, from France. So we see here early on we will focus on the match winner from the earlier one. We were in Troll. He is in first place already at the moment. We've seen Troll had a very good performance on this map in his earlier match. Did have some very good times, very good consistency in this map. And we can see here already he is almost putting his opponents to shame here. He is ahead of Roa at the moment. Shorty is 0.4 behind. Lund seems to have made a mistake, about a second behind. Let's go back to Roa. We can see here the fight between the top two is getting a bit closer here, only 0.18, but Roa gets a no drift going through that right-hander, so he will lose some speed here, so that means actually Shorty overtakes him as well. Shorty going a bit wide there though, but will all players go for the risky finish? They do. Roa slightly more speed though. Will he get Shorty in the end? He does not. Only 100th between the players, but good job there by Troll again, a 106.59, showing that he's definitely still keeping his consistency from his earlier match, and he does secure the 10 points to start off with. Lund has to settle for 3, unfortunately. Must have made a mistake earlier on, so let's focus on him and see what he can do. Again, Lund had been participating a lot, I believe, in the ESL matches, so he might not have had as much time to train, but same can of course be said for Roa. So let's see how these top 3 players do look in this round. You can see we've got a nice view here from Lund's perspective. Shorty is very slightly behind, but by no means out of this round. Lund getting a lot of speed here going down the hill. Seen here, Troll has a good line going through this and often gains quite a bit of speed, but Roa got it well there. He's just going a bit wider. And Lundstrm dropping only very slightly back here. He's only 1700s behind. By no means out of this round. Here, see Troll goes for a more inside line, but he doesn't manage to shake off either Roa or Lundstrm here. The battle's heating up going into the later stages of this map. Roa trying to shake off Lund as well, while still trying to catch Troll. But let's see here if Troll does keep it straight through the finish, and all players getting a good end here. Lund especially taking second place, but where's Roa? Roa fails the end. Roa does not get any points from this round and is stuck on 5. He has been betrayed by his own map, and he takes nothing from this round, whereas Troll gets another great time in a 106.4. World record, I believe, is a 106.0, so certainly absolutely no slouch on this map as Troll. So let's check out Roa for this round here. Bottom on points again, but we've seen here he's had good pace going throughout these rounds. He's just been a bit more unfortunate with the mistake in the round previous. Yeah, it's challenging for the top position here again. A bit wider, but that allows him a better angle. As you can see here, he's gaining ground on Troll. He gets a much better inside angle, and Troll gets a bit of loses a bit of his grip going over that section there as he touched the green part on the outside. But Troll again does that. He again does that section better, but you can see here he loses a bit of time on Roa. Roa more speed going over the engine off. But now coming into this kind of slow section of the map, and he's slowed down, geared down a bit going through here. We saw it caused Roa some problems earlier on, but he's extending his lead over Troll here. Great job so far by Roa. He's in a hell of a time at the moment by the looks of things, and a good end by Roa, but Troll's not far behind, but he goes for the early finish. 106.4 from Roa. Where's everyone else? Shorty manages to get the risky finish. Where's Lund? Lund doesn't get it, so Troll, despite going for the safe finish, does manage to salvage second place, which I'm sure he'll be extremely satisfied with. And this time, let's check out Shorty. So, despite him not getting really that many good positions, not having a good round so far as Shorty, he's still on 17 points, so it just goes to show the amount of mistakes the other players have been making. And some support coming in for Roa from his teammate. Let's see how that will go for him. And you see here, Lundstrm dropping off early on. He is a bit behind already. Shorty as well having some trouble early on. Goes for a bit more of an inside line there, but it doesn't look as if he's got a lot of speed. And we can see here the battle is again between Troll and Roa up at the top, but again Troll doing this section better. You can see he's just got a bit of a better line going through there. A bit too wide though is Troll. Let's go back up to Roa. Again, a close battle between these two. Oh, Roa with a bit more speed, but has to go more outside as a result. Roa again, more speed going on the downhill there. But with a turn so close, let's see if it'll make any difference. 2,000s between the players going in the last CP. Who's going to get the better end? 100th of a second. Who's got the better jump? And Troll takes it by 1,000th of a second. Very, very good race by the two there up at the top. And great job there by Troll to pull it in the end and gain himself 37 points from this match. A fantastic performance, and we now move on to Legacy with Troll in the lead by 15 points over Roa and Shorty. So here we go, map number 2, and let's watch the players warm up on this and see how they do. Let's see if Roa manages to get himself back on the board up for the top positions. Of course, he did have that trouble at the start of his own map where he did miss the finish and he did have a bit of a crash, but this is a bit of an easier map, so hopefully we'll be seeing less mistakes from the players. We didn't see Troll as much on this map last time, as he had secured the win earlier on. I believe he only done one round, if I'm correct here. Or maybe he didn't do any rounds at all, I cannot recall. So a bit of a question mark on Troll's capabilities here, but certainly not one to write off as a result of not knowing that. Of course, Troll known for training offline, so giving his opponents a very, very little idea as to how good he actually would be in these matchups. See here, Roa having a bit of trouble in the warm-up, but let the players to warm up, we'll chill out a bit, and we'll wait to get underway for map number 2. So this can have a bit of a tricky end here. You need to go through the Christmas trees there. We've seen a few players crashing there, notably Nevermind sacrificing around to a rail there right at the end. So GLHF's been written by the players, and we're about to get underway with our last match so far of the day. And here we go, round number 1. Let's focus on our points leader Troll, and let's see what he can do on Legacy by Nevermind. So for a bit of wide start here. Good speed coming through here though, once they're quite close to the inside here. All of his opponents managed to do that successfully, with the exception of Lund, who is having a lot of trouble in the sub-match at the moment. Does have a very high calibre of opponents up against him, but he's certainly no slouch of a player himself, long-time high-level player, but he needs to bring that out and show that here today. And Troll is still up in the lead here at the moment. As you can see here, he is in first place with a 0.2 advantage over Shorty at the moment. 0.3 actually, so let's focus on Shorty, see if Shorty gets anywhere near Troll at the end. And a 0.4 advantage, so Shorty just looking to consolidate second place, but he fails in doing so, and Roa does overtake him. And there we go, so Troll on 107.6. Good job there by him. Roa coming in with the second place, 108.2. Shorty and Lund making mistakes, having to settle for the lower points, which means Roa does get himself a gap over Shorty of only 2 points though, but look at Troll's lead already, 18 points ahead of his closest opponent here. Can only remember Troll making one mistake throughout this whole sub-match, but let's focus on Lundstrm, let's see what he can do. And let's see if his capabilities are realised in this match, or in this round. You can see here he is still with the pack at the moment. Shorty this time up in the lead. I've not seen that too often. Shorty seeming to be going for the kind of second and third positions, at least in this matchup. He's not risking too much, which I suppose can be beneficial for him. But here we go. The battle's heating up now. We can see there's only a 10th between all players in this matchup already at the moment. 1200s going into the later sections of here. Let's focus on Shorty now. He's a bit closer to the front, but actually Lund's catching up on him. Look how close the battle is for first place again here. Roa and Troll fighting to the bitter end here. Roa with more speed, but does he get the good line? He does, and he does actually get the win there. A 106.35. Sorry, a 107.635, pardon me. taking the lead over Troll by 600 of a second. We can see here Lund having to settle for 3rd place, Shorty making the mistake again and getting 4th place here. So we can see at the moment that Shorty has to sacrifice further points to Roa, but Roa is not allowing Troll out of his grasp here. And he is 15 points behind now. So let's keep our eye on Roa, see if he manages to gain further ground back on Troll here. But again, it's difficult because Troll's not making mistakes. He might be doing around slightly slower at the moment, but he's only 900 behind Roa, so Roa does not have that breathing room I'm sure he'd be looking for at the moment. And here we go, so Roa with a good lead here at the moment. Lund is his closest opponent. This is good for Roa though, if he can keep Troll at bay, and if Troll can be denied by a few other players, then that will be great news for Roa, as he will gain a lot of points here. But now Troll is on the comeback trail. Shorty lagging a bit here. Let's check him out for the final corners this time. The tables have turned. This time Troll's overtaking Roa at the end, and will he have more speed? Roa might just rescue it here. 107.4 coming out from Roa, as he does secure it again at the bitter end by the most narrow of margins, 300s, and Roa does take the win again and get more points back on 1st place. Great job by Roa so far, recovering very well into this round. Thank you as well for the host, Nutella. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. So it's been a very tight matchup between all players going through so far on this map. Seeing a very, very tight few rounds here later on in the match, and it's still a 10th between everyone. But this time let's check out Troll for this round. He doesn't seem to have the best starts out of the players, but we're seeing here the points leaders at the back, but Shorty changes that. Air Shorty flying out of the map there with an early on crash, and he hasn't retired, but he's about 3 seconds behind at the moment. And now Lundstrm is looking to fly the flag for Team M&M here and take 1st place, but he does have Troll bearing down on him here, and more speed there for Lundo, so he might actually retain 1st place. Troll going more inside there, drops a bit of speed as a result, but he's shown he can have good ends here despite being pipped a bit by Roa. But this time Roa isn't here to challenge him, so will he get the better of Lund this time? Lund might have the better angle, but Troll more speed, secures it with a 107.4, but fantastic consistency here from Troll. 107.4 2 times in a row, and then a 107.6 previously, showing that he's very, very strong on all the maps of which we have been looking at. Welcome to our stream, Mr. Pedo, Huntmania, That Lancer Guy, Better Boss, Maxi as well. Welcome all. Nice to see you guys here as we go on to map number 3, which will be Spectre by MD Point. We've seen Troll here when he was going against in the first match, which was of course Tween, Lumar and Aurel. He wasn't as dominant as you would have seen in these maps going forward. He wasn't at the consistent high pace, but it might have been, of course, his first round in this competition, taking a bit of time to get taking a bit of time to get into the flow here. So we'll see what he manages to do in his second match of the day, getting a bit of a warm up already. So I'm unsure how the other players of this match did manage to do here in the previous matchups. Welcome, Tween. Good job in our match, man. Well deserved 2nd place for you. So your Lund at least looking good in the warm-up. Can be a bit of a tricky map here. There's a lot of kind of tight sections you see at the start. There's a kind of sideways CP people need to go through, and you need to kind of set yourself up pretty early for that. Kind of tight jump into the drift you need to do here, and as well the finish, as Roa showed us, can cause people quite a bit of problems. Felt more ready for the second match though, and didn't do too many stupid things. Well, there you go, man. Getting yourself underway in Premier League. And here we go, round number 1 on Spectre. And we will start off by watching 2nd place in points, Roa. He has extended his lead over Shorty to 16 points, but he has a 17-point disadvantage to Troll. So Roa's kind of in a bit of an island and a kind of world of his own here, but Let's see if that is going to be broken and at what way it's going to be broken by. It doesn't look like Shorty's going to be catching up on him any. He has made a mistake. And where is Lund? Lund has retired. And let's go back to Roa and his pursuit of Troll throughout this map. He does get a bit of a better line going uphill, Roa, but he doesn't take as much speed out of it as Troll. And we can see here Troll still in the lead by only 1/10 of a second though. It's going to be tight coming up to here though. Roa with a slight bit more speed and a better line. Who's going to go for the riskiest lines going through the final corners? Troll slightly extending it here. But mistakes can be made here. Let's see if any will be made by the players. Good aim for both the players, getting themselves through it with a 107.0 and a 107.1. And they do get the first and second positions respectively. Shorty gets himself a third, but Lund has to settle for 0 points as he doesn't manage to finish on time, unfortunately for him. Thank you for the follow cast, much appreciated, man. I hope you're enjoying my cast of this match today as we go into round number 2 here. See Shorty going a bit wide there early on, but let's see from Shorty's perspective, see if he can keep himself in the round. Lund already having trouble dropping down early on. Shorty going wide there, a bit of a safer line there to get himself through the turn. Maybe perhaps he's not feeling as confident through that tight section. But we see here it is to his disadvantage. He's 0.2 behind this battle for first place, which is as intense as ever. Let's go up ahead and focus on it with Troll this time. Give Troll a bit of the love, and we see here he's overtook the first place from Roa, but Roa was going for a bit more speed there. Still only 200s between these two players, and it's getting closer and closer if even that was possible. Troll gets a bit better of a line going through here this time. Again, it's Roa on catch up. Let's see if he'll manage to do it this time. Good end by Troll though. All he needs to do is get good aim going through here, which he does. Secures it with a 106.7, and Roa has to settle for second place again. A carbon copy of last round, with the exception of Lundstrm this time managing to finish, getting himself on 34 points. Shorty 48, Roa 68, and Troll on 91. Is Troll going to continue this streak of dominance, or is Roa going to manage to block him off here? Is he going to manage to halt his momentum and strike back, get himself back into the question for first place, as Troll is almost leaving him for dust here. 23 points ahead is Troll at the moment. And he is continuing to in that fashion. He is ahead of Roa at the moment. Although Roa getting a bit more speed going through that section there, but again, no mistakes being made from Troll whatsoever. And we can see here he's extending his lead over Roa. Roa with a different trajectory going through there. Let's check out Roa in his pursuit of Troll. 0.2 behind. He did try and risk it a bit there. He's trying to catch up. He's cut it down to a 10th. But Troll is not to be denied at the moment. He does go a bit wider there, but he sets himself up well with a good adjustment there. But it gives Roa the chance if he just risks it going through here. More speed does Roa have, but he was going to go too wide there, so he had to release a bit. But another 106 coming out from Troll again. Another 10 points, and so far it has been a flawless match from the man himself, putting himself on 101 points, so within 2 points of finalist mode, with his closest opponent being Roa on 75 points. And we can see here the consistency is not able to be matched by his opponents, especially now that Roa has made the mistake. So let's see what his closest opponent should be in here in Shorty, who is looking to have to settle for third place in this round and in this match, with no one really being that close behind and in front of him, especially now with Lundstrm making such a big mistake, which will be good for Roa because that's damage limitation. That'll be even better. Shorty does make the mistakes, so let's focus on Troll, who has not made any mistakes again throughout this whole map, and he is again on a good time here, a 106.7, at least was his best time going just simply through this matchup so far. There's a 6/10 lead over Roa already, but he should know that there's a big gap between him and his closest player, so he can afford to fully save this round, although he doesn't look to be like He's not giving anyone the opportunity to catch up here. Still keeping it as consistent as ever, showing why he was renowned as the MVP almost of ESL CPS 18, and he does even go for the safe finish, as he can afford to do so, of course, with a 107.5. Of course, it would have been a high 106 again if he had went for the risky finish, but had no need to do so. Good decision making there by Troll, and there we go. 111 points there for him. Consistency is certainly the word I'd be using. And now Shorty's home map, so let's see if he can do anything here. Fast, consistent and smart, exactly. So there we go. Now it's Volante featuring Kiesler. We will have one warm up and then we will be going live. Troll's made a mistake, guys. Someone clip it. See how Shorty does in the warm up in his home map. I forgot Spam was here. I thought he was playing later. Anyway, Shorty going inside the poles. Maybe style points he's going for there. So Shorty doesn't go for the engine off there. And he does net himself a 109.7. Amazing time. So GLHF being written. Potentially the final map here for Troll. Looks as if we'll have one more map to decide who then takes the final position. Lund having more trouble here though. As you can see here, he has dropped down once again. And we can see here it's a battle of 3 players, this time going through early on in the start. Troll, a familiar face up in the lead though. You can see he does drop down slightly though, giving Roa the chance to get a bit of a lead going here. But will Roa manage to keep it? Roa with good speed on the exit going through here. So let's see if any of these players can recover. This can be quite a difficult section. A lot of the players having trouble with the poles, especially here. Troll with a lot of speed. He had to release there a bit to avoid hitting the poles. That allows Shorty the chance to actually overtake him now and deny Troll further points, but it doesn't look close enough to do it. Looks as if Roa's going to take the first place. A strong performance. Shorty not going for the engine off there. Will he be able to make the finish? He will. So 107.3. Good job there by Roa. And I'll give him an NT. Didn't mean a hashtag, but there we go. A 107.3 for Roa. And Troll getting a good time as well, but it was not enough to deny Roa in this instance. 92 points for Roa. He'll need much more than that if he's going to manage to catch up on Troll, but let's see, 118 points, so he's not quite there yet, although all he needs to do is finish this round and then he will be on finalist mode. So Troll in the lead this time, and this time it's Shorty has to make a bit of an adjustment. So let's check out Roa, our previous round winner. He is now having the tables turned on him and having to catch up on Troll. Troll just seems to have a much better start than he did last time. As you can see here in the CP split, that Roa is in roughly the kind of same time he was going through previously, which is certainly a hell of a time of 107.3. Troll makes a mistake though, going a bit too inside there and does crash. A hell of a time there, but he didn't manage to keep it steady going through there, as he did crash himself. So crucial points here for Shorty if he can keep himself steady until the end. And he looks as if he will be getting himself good. 10 points for Shorty, 108.2. Not the best of times, capitalising on his opponent's mistakes, whereas Roa has to go for the safe finish. Troll at least secures the finish, so he does get finalist mode, but Roa having to settle for 5 points. Big mistake there from Roa. A lot of points lost there for him, but now is crunch time for these other players. If they want any chance of taking first place, they need to halt Troll's momentum here. He's made a mistake already, so if you can keep him under pressure, deny a few finalist rounds, then who knows. And we'll see if Troll will thrive under such pressure or whether it will be enough to break him. Let's check out early in this round. It's looking as if he's going fine early on here, at least. Good turns coming out here from all of the players early on. And you can see here he's right next to Shorty, and Roy does actually overtake them with more speed going through this section. But, oh, he gets a bit of, I think it was a gear down going in that downhill there. So he has to sacrifice his position. So Shorty and Roa are now going to be the ones fighting for the first and second positions. We'll check out Roa, who's going to be needing every point he can get. But Shorty, desperate for points himself. He does go to see if he doesn't take the engine off. You can see he has more speed as a result. But Roa goes for the more inside finish. And he does take it with a good round there. And eventually did get the finish, a 107.6, and he does get himself on 107 points, so potentially 2 more rounds for Roa to get himself onto finalist mode as well. But again, 1 more round on Volante. Shorty has to go for the drifter. He's went a bit too inside, but you can see he doesn't lose so much time on everyone else. Good job, at least through all the players early on in this round. Lund as well having a good round so far. He's fighting up in the lead with Troll. Let's check out Lund. Been having a lot of struggles so far in this match, but this round might not be one of them. This might be his redemption. Troll having big trouble. He will not be able to finish this round unless he... I'm going to be amazed if he manages to finish that, but this time Lund is up in first place, so... he can potentially deny Roa some points here, as well as Shorty, of course. Shorty's quite far behind on 80 though, so you'll need to mount his comeback pretty much now or never. But Lund does at least look to be out of this match, but it's not over till it's over, as they say. And Lund is at least keeping the first place here, and he does get a 107.6 as again, perhaps a bit of redemption for Lund. 53 points he's up to now, and there we go. 114 for Roa, so he needs first or second place to get himself finalist, and will be on Scaddy map, TMProLeague Respect. Old friend being represented once again in the map, so we will see how that will treat the players. We'll see if Troll manages to finally edge it out here, although we have been seeing more mistakes lately. If Roa will manage to embrace this map as his own and claim his victory here, or if Shorty and Lundstrm can pull off some heroics, we will see. Let's watch the players warm up in the meantime. So perhaps if Lund's good on this match, or this map rather, he can maybe even throw a bit of a spanner into the works for the other players. Although of course this will be the last time we see Respect, as they are doing a system now where they remove 1 map each week and they add a new one each week, so we'll see how that will affect the players. Also how that will affect the players being prepared on such maps, with having pretty much a new one to train every week. So we'll see how that goes. New map, of course, I believe is called Blaze by Santana. So GLHF's been written in the chat, and this looks like it will be the final map of this match, unless Shorty or Lundstrm, as I said, managed to throw a spanner in the works here. Oh, pardon me, that felt really weird, but here we go, round number 1 on Respect. Oh, Lund crashing early on in the start though, so doesn't look like he's going to be the difference maker here. Let's check out Shorty, who will be the other potential, as I say, the aforementioned difference maker. But it looks as if Roa's just going to keep the lead here. Shorty looks a bit too far behind to be making that much of a difference here. See, he is currently in 3rd place. So let's go a bit further up ahead to Troll, who is on the hunt to Roa at the moment. Again, Roa needs to keep this 1st place here, not only for his finalist position, but if Troll overtakes him, then Troll will win the match, and Troll is right behind him here. Much more speed for Troll here. Will he secure it in the end here? He's got a good end coming up, Troll. All he needs to do is secure it in the last corner. Who's going to get the better jump? Roa, with the cojones as it were, does secure 1st place. 106.505. He went for the risky finish there, which really paid off because Troll had a lot of speed but not a lot of the best angle there, so does save himself there, does Roa, but potentially a bit of a risk there would have been necessary for Troll. But nevertheless, round number 2. There's a lot of attempts in the books now for Troll, so perhaps maybe if that's affecting him at all, but attempt number 1 for Roa. And Shorty's already crashed, so it's only Lund who can deny either of these players at the moment. Oh, big crash there from Lund. He's retired, he's given up already. Only Shorty can deny any of these players, but he is 6/10 behind, so let's focus. This is the battle for 1st place. Whoever wins this round will secure the full amount of points from this match, and whoever gets 2nd will have to go on further. Make sure they can deny Shorty. Troll going really close to the outside here. Roa will be able to see he's behind. He's risking. He's going for a lot of speed going through there. He overtakes Troll as a result. Going for a lot of braking there though, allowing Troll back into the round. And we can see here Troll for a better section going through here. Roa going for the speed, but it's a final corner. Roa more speed. Who's going to get it? They're both risking it. Roa takes it. Troll fails the end. Roa with a 106.6 does complete the comeback, and Troll fails again on his finalist attempt and misses out on a consecutive 1st place. So unlucky there for Troll. Very good job there by Roa to secure himself the 1st place though. So this time it is Troll's chance. He has a very wide buffer over Shorty and Lund here. And not least to say Shorty, because he's a 2nd behind in this round already, and he seems to have dropped Lund as well by 0.2 of a second, but Lund get a better section there. Seems as if Troll had to make a few adjustments there, but he's 0.2 behind still. Lund makes a mistake. All Troll needs to do is safe the finish, and it should be GG. The match should be over, but it's not over till it's over. Make sure we'll stick with Troll in the event of any. Ooh, he's giving me the fear here as Troll. I'm sure he's not at least. He's at least getting through the rest of the map without much trouble. He's still got a 2nd of a gap to Shorty, so he should be fine. He can afford to just go for the safe finish here. And there we go. So that is our match, guys. GG's. And we see Roa managing to take the 1st place, almost sniping it there from Troll, with a very good performance on respect from Roa. He does take 1st place and the full points as a result, and Troll has to settle for 2nd place despite such a great performance there throughout the map. But again, finalist mode can be the killer of the best of us, so it happens. Shorty secures the 3rd place as a result of being 3rd at the time, of course, that the match finished, and Lund, again with not the best of performances, has to settle for 4th place, unfortunately for him. So there we go, guys. Match day 1 is in the books, and we have finished off our matches today. So GG's to all players involved, and a fantastic match for us there.